So, Johnny, we have a question that's come in here, and it's about drift. And I've heard you speak about this, and you teach, you write. What happens? What's going on when a couple says it just feels like we're drifting apart? Speak to it, would you?
Yeah, couples have to be really intentional about staying centered. Drift does happen, and so in order to really be aware of that drift, Les, I find that couples really want to be intentional about having core values. And in research around this, I teach a positive psychology at Johns Hopkins, and the research shows in leadership literature that when couples have core values and they're intentional about their core values, their impact is over 110% greater. I mean, that's what it shows in leadership, but that's also transferable to couples.
So, when a couple is drifting apart, what you're saying is revisit the core values the two of you share. I often think of core values like concentric circles. And there's things that we value out here that maybe we're different on, what time you go to bed or what TV shows you like or whatever, whatever the real peripheral stuff of life is.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the core stuff, really deep in your religious faith, for example, your philosophy of living, those kinds of things. Tell us how that works.
Yeah. And so one of the practical ways that I coach couples to do this and leaders as well, take your last name. So whatever your last name may be, form an acrostic or first or last name, form an acrostic around that. And then, like, for example, ours is Parker. So we'll walk through that. The P, pleasing God, A, accepting one another, R, respect, K, keeping short accounts, E, encouraging, and R, renewal, and S is service. And so we tell couples, hey, once a week, you want to have a conversation around the fireplace over a latte and talk about who we are and what we want, why we want it, and have a conversation about how we're showing up with our core values.
That's a clever thing. It's kind of a new way of getting to your mission as a couple. Sometimes we talk about having a marriage mission statement for us. And I love the practical way of taking your last name and thinking through how can we remember the core values that we have. That's great. So just to sum up, you're saying to avoid drift in marriage, you got to focus on the values that matter most. And on top of it, you've given us a super practical way of making that happen. Johnny, thanks so much.
Thanks, Les.